For this next part, I am going to take a green clay tool or something that has a larger, broader side of the tool, and I'm going to angle it down right at the edge here, and I'm going to cut at an angle towards the center. Basically, what I'm going to do is create a V shape eventually with my tool. So I'm going to press this down at an angle just till it hits the middle. I'm going to take up this piece of clay. This is what it looks like so far. So this is angled downward right here. I'm going to rotate my piece and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm angling my tool down in towards the center. And then popping this back up. Okay, at this point, this is about half of the way down. I am going to recarve my line in the center, my vertical line. Before I do the spokes of my iris section here, I'm going to clean up my cuts just a little bit. Using my needle tool, I'm going to keep it at an angle just to make sure all these clay boogers go away. Clay boogers are little tiny chunks of clay that often happen when you cut into the clay. A piece is displaced. So I'm kind of trimming some of them off. And if needed, I am recarving my center line. You can also use a little bit of water in your finger. If you do that, please make sure that you recarve that center line. Next, using the same method, I am going to do the spokes of the wagon wheel. This slit right here represents my pupil. I can make it a little bit wider if I so choose before I get started. So I'm slicing a little bit more off. I'm making this wider this way. I'm going to use a small amount of water, smallest amount, mainly my clay brush, to smooth that out. Just on the iris part, which is this football shape, I am going to press my needle tool down into the clay from the center outward, creating spokes on a wheel of a bike. I like it when these textures go all the way to that rim, so I'm repressing them to make sure that the tool does that. Note that they go from the center outward. This is what I have so far. I'm going to flip the side and continue around. Again, I'm just taking my needle tool, putting the point in the center of that cut that I made right in here for the pupil, and I'm indenting or impressing my needle tool into the clay. And then I'm going to carve a little bit more into the surface, widen that ever so slightly. And I have two types of eyes.